Leanne Richards, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in southern Tasmania. Great to have you with me this morning. It's a cloudy, sort of drizzly morning today, but it's Sunday morning and it's always so blissfully quiet in my little suburb on a Sunday morning. Well, usually. Sometimes it's not. Usually it is. I was laying in bed this morning about 8 o'clock contemplating getting up, and it just was, all I could hear were a few birds, and it was lovely. That's why I live where just turn my volume down. I know my volume's okay. Yeah, just laying there thinking I could have been in the country. I mean, my little place, my suburb's only about 10, 12 k's out of Hobart, but you could close your eyes and think you're in the country sometimes, which is really, really nice. So that's why I live where I live, I suppose. But anyway, it's lovely waking up this morning with a bit of rain as well. We actually needed that. I thought I'd come a couple of minutes early, not as many early minutes as I thought, just to go through a couple of things that are happening at the moment. We've got a brand new, Stampin' Up's never done anything quite like this before, and it's had a couple of teething issues, and there's a little bit of confusion about the promotion, but we've got our buy one, get one 50% off suite sale. Now, what I wanted to just briefly go through that, if it's finding it a bit confusing, you've tried to log on and order, hopefully, and found it all a bit weird, hopefully I'll explain to you now why what's happening, and hopefully give you a bit of an idea about how you can work around the system and get the best value out of this particular sale, which hopefully they will do again and again and again, because it is, if you do it properly, it can be quite a good saving. So I'll go back to my view here. So it's a suite sale, but it's not just our suites, but it's also the products that make up the suites. So first of all, I suppose your question might be, what is a suite? And if you haven't bought Stampin' Up stuff before, I suppose a suite would be defined as a group of coordinating products that are sold together to complement each other. They sort of join, they have in common, might have imagery or number or colours or themes or sentiments in common. So they're sold together in a suite, in a collection. And I thought I'd probably show you a couple of those here while I've got my catalogue out. I always have my catalogue out. So for example, today we're going to be looking at this one. So this is the Kintsugi Inspirations suite. Okay, so the suite comes with the stamp set, the dies, so the bundle, the embossing folder, the bling, and the paper. So that tends to be the little bit of a theme of how suites go. They can tend to be a bundle or two, so stamp sets and dies, at least one of those. Then there's usually bling, there's always usually paper, there's sometimes ribbon, and in this case there's an embossing folder that goes with that suite as well. So the suite, if you buy it all in one, has a single product number. And you've got to remember that this sale is working very heavily off product numbers. So if you put up the product number for this particular suite into your order, you'll get all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the items added to your order. Okay, so that's what a suite is. So there's several. So today, as I say, we're going to look at this one. We're also going to look at the Celebratory Sips one. If I should have worked out what number that was here. We're going to be looking at this one, the Celebrate Together suite. Okay, so that's as well. So as I say, stamp set. No, that's not the suite. That's the scrapbooking set. Anyway, I'll find it in a second. So the Celebrate Together suite comes with dies, comes with paper, the gorgeous paper, and you buy them together. So, and I've totally lost the plot. Anyway, there's lots of lovely suites. So there's another one there. That's the pretty floral suite. Okay, so what happens when this sale is that, say you wanted to buy this pretty floral suite and the Kintsugi Inspirations suite, forgive me if I'm saying that wrong, you would get the cheapest one half price. So that's a really good deal if you want to buy those big things, those big ticket items. You will save quite a lot of money on that second one, the lower priced one, half price. Now, the thing is that the sale, which makes it even better, the sale actually includes not just the sweets themselves, but you can buy all the little individual pieces that go towards it and also qualify for the savings. Okay, so if say here you've got this sweet here, the Florals in Bloom suite, so maybe you wanted to just buy the bling or the paper. Because it belongs to a suite, you can actually get the same buy one, get one 50% off those things as well. So if you, say, for example, bought the paper, which is $21.75, you pop the bling in as well, which is $15, you'll get 50% off the cheaper one of those two, which means you'll get the bling for $7.50. Okay, so that's how that will work on the components or the bits that go together to make up a suite. Now, the confusion is, say you wanted to buy the whole suite of this one, so you pop that into your account, into your shopping basket. So it, as a suite, it costs, just trying to find the price of it as a suite. At the suite, it costs, oh, it's a biggie, $215.75. So you pay that for that suite, and then you decide you want to buy just some extra paper. So say you want to buy the paper from the Turtley Cute suite. So you pop that in your cart. So that would become your half price item. Okay, that would be your cheaper one of the two. Now, the trouble is you might not want that as your half priced item. There might be something else that's more expensive that you think you're going to save a little bit more money on. So you do have to be careful what you pop in to your order together. So say you pop your sweet in and then you decide you want to buy something else of sort of almost the same value, and then you want to buy the paper, the system is going to give you the paper as the cheaper item, okay, as a discounted item. So you do need to be careful. So if you've got a big suite and likely a bundle or a slightly smaller suite, you want to get that as half price, I suggest you put those two in an order alone, okay? So don't put anything else in that order, just order those two things. Then if there's paper and bling and all the smaller items that you want to get separately, pop them into a separate order. Now, I know that means you're going to pay twice on the postage, but honestly, if you do it properly, you can save much more on that big order, those two sweets or the sweet in the bundle or whatever it is, the larger items, to compensate for having to pop in the second order, so you don't force the system to give you the cheaper item as the half price item. Now, if you try to compare that to, say, if you have a shop, you go into a main street shop that's got a similar deal, you walk in with your three items, you go, this is $100, this is $80, and this is $10. You know that the shop is going to say, well, you're going to get the cheapest item for free. Okay, so in that case, if you wanted three items, you'd go into the shop and get the two more expensive ones, get the half price off that one, and then you'd go back later and get the cheaper items. It's just exactly the same with this Stampin' Up offer as well. So hopefully it was very clear in my head. I don't know how I've managed to convey that, but as I say, if you find you're placing an order with me and you're not getting the results you think you should, please reach out and I will help you. And if that means that you have to place a second order with the smaller items, then so be it. We'll balance out. We can do the math and work out whether the best way of actually getting the best deal for you with this particular sale. And it's a long-running sale, so it's not like you have to go in and do it in 2 days or 3 days, which is what our usual sales are. This 50% off sale goes all the way through till the end of June. So there you are. You've got plenty of time to save and pop all those wonderful sweet products into your order, which would be great. I'd love you to do that. Okay, I think what else was there? Okay, so at the moment also we're selling the kit for our virtual album retreat. It's a great opportunity to get together with scrapbookers from around the world and around Australia and around the world. So you will actually get, when you purchase the kit, you get access to a Facebook group, an exclusive Facebook group, and that Facebook group, all the pages in the kit will be demonstrated live, so you can sit there and do them live, and they're all recorded, so you can pop in afterwards if you miss something and make them along with the with the recording. So everything is there. It's going to be run by some scrapbookers from the Stampin' Up staff and around the world. So it's going to be a great way of getting a full album of pages done and interacting with some Stampin' Up people as well. So I have seen this is the shot of what you get for your money with the scrapbooking kit. You get 12 double-sided pages, which are all signifying different months of the year. Obviously, the Northern Hemisphere months are going to be different to our months, so you can actually move the seasons around. So the let's say the Northern Hemisphere March might be in the middle of autumn. No, hang on. Middle of spring, and ours is in the middle of autumn, so you can change those months around so that you have the appropriate months for the appropriate style of pictures as well. So that's going to be a great one. You get the 12 packs, everything's already cut, everything's already ready to go. You don't have to do any of those confusing measurements and things like that. It's all cut and die cut and everything like that. You get some cutout pieces, you get some special embossed pages, you get your page protectors so you can keep your pages nice and safe. You get your photo placeholders there, so you can, if you haven't got your photos ready, you can put those placeholders in instead. You get your designer series paper, you get your bling, and you get some flip flaps, which are awesome. I love my flip flaps. And you get 2 stamp sets as well. So there you are. So you get actually down there in the right-hand corner, there's 2 stamp sets that you can use, and you can use them forever and ever because they're yours to keep. So it is a little bit of an expensive, for a Stampin' Up person who's never done a virtual event before, it struck me at the start as quite expensive. It's $435 Australian, but you do get the 2 stamp sets, so let's think there's probably $70 value there, plus the page protectors and the flip flaps and all the kits. So it's actually a great deal to have 3 days of entertainment and scrapping. And I will actually hold for anyone who lives in the southern Tasmania area who buys the kit from me. I will actually throw my doors open and have an open home on that weekend. So if you're not keen on starting at 6 o'clock in the morning when it goes live, you can pop over to mine and we can make some pages together at a more civilised time during that weekend. So check my Facebook page for that event if you are interested. Okay, so let's get some crafting. Thank you for my patience there. Hopefully we haven't spent too long there to put you off everything. And hello to a few who are joining. So I can see Cheryl and Rosalind and Glenda as well. She's over on YouTube. Thanks for joining me, ladies, and Krista. Anyway, so let's do some crafting. Now, sometimes when a new catalogue comes out, I have a particular lovely friend who will find something in there and send me a message and saying, have a look at the suite on page XYZ. That is really you. So she knows me. She knows what I like to do when I'm crafting for myself, which is sometimes different to what I do when I'm crafting for you guys. I like to show you everything that I have that might not necessarily be to my ideal taste. But I know that other people will like it, so that's why I show it to you. But yes, so the crafting that I'm doing today is actually crafting for me. It's actually 2 birthday cards that I need for 2 very special crafty friends who were my partners in crime at the recent on stage. So if they're watching, they probably know who they are. So 2 very dear friends having their birthdays in June, and as I say, they were partners in crime in Brisbane March just gone for our on stage. So yeah, you know who you are. This is, so turn away now because this is your birthday card. But anyway, let's have a look at them. So as I say, these are both my style of cards. So they might be a little bit boring to some, but they're just what I like to do. So for one of my cards, we're going to be using that suite that I couldn't find in the catalogue. Maybe it's an online exclusive. Let's have a look. Maybe it is an online exclusive and I've got myself mixed up. Yes, I'd say it's an online exclusive. So it's called I've got the paper here. I've got the paper here. It's called the Celebratory Sips Designer Series paper. It does have a stamp set, dies, the whole thing that goes with it, but I have not actually bought those. I've just got the Designer Series paper. Sometimes you really, really love a Designer Series paper, but you know that you're only going to get a certain amount of usage out of it. So, you know, sometimes I don't buy the bundle, the dies and the stamp set if I think I'm going to get just as much use as I want out of the paper, and then I'll probably move on to the next thing. So that's what this one is. I love the colours. They're bright, they're cheery. I love our lovely cocktails and mocktails there that it has with the umbrellas and things. So I love the card and I love the colours, but as I say, I didn't think I was going to probably use the bundle in the longer term anyway. But anyway, so we'll give that a go. We're having a look at some on our new in colours. This is our Strawberry Slush, which is our one of our brand new in colours in the new catalogue. And we've used, as I say, the fussy cut images from the Celebratory Sips, and I've used some of the in colour ribbon, the Strawberry Slush ribbon, and the Strawberry Slush flat pearls there as well, so you can see those. It's actually a twisted easel, and that's why I say it's crafting for me, because it's one of my favourite cards. So you've probably seen me do them on multiple occasions, but we'll give this one a go as well, and hopefully you'll like this one also. So I'm going to make one here so that ladies whose birthdays it is, I don't know whether you're on, you haven't said hello yet, you don't know whether you're going to get this card or the other card. That's going to be your surprise. Anyway, so maybe they won't even sign on, so I won't have to worry. Okay, so for my twisted easel, it's sort of a twisted easel bookbind card. I have a 11-inch by 4-inch piece of our Strawberry Slush. I've scored it at 5.5, and then I've scored it again. This is where the twist comes in, from the bottom of that score to the top corner. Okay, so when you close it down, it twists up like that, and that's where you get your twist from. Okay, cool. Apologies for my 3 Band-Aids today. It's a 3 Band-Aid day. I'm having, you know, I have very dry skin on my hands at the best of times, and when I garden and things like that, it tends to get worse. But I'm on a, and we're all ladies here, we won't mind, I'm on a hormone replacement gel that I sort of smear over myself once every night, and it's just playing havoc with my skin. But I'm actually starting to feel human again, so I'm going to try and persevere and work around it. But at the moment, it's just it's playing terrible games with my skin on my hands. And yes, I'm trying to wash it off afterwards, and yes, I'm using moisturiser and all those things. But yes, I have very sensitive dry skin on my hands, which it's having it's trying to work out what the benefits of one versus the disadvantages of the other at the moment. But as I say, I'm starting to feel human again, which I haven't for a long time. So I'm going with that. Okay, so I've got our card base. Now the little easel part of it is another 4 by 4 inch square of our Strawberry Slush. And then I'm using this little beautiful, bright, flowery Designer Series paper from the Celebratory Sips. And we're just going to add that to that. So we'll just decorate this little bit first. There we are. So as I say, this is our little easel that's going to flip up and out. So I'll pop that aside. So what we're going to do is add some ribbon. So I don't know if Deb's on. Deb, I'm using ribbon. You'd be proud of me if I could find it. I know it's here somewhere. Ribbon. Sometimes I look around and I can't find it, and I know it's actually just sitting somewhere in plain view, and I've lost sight of it. But I think I've definitely lost sight of this. It was the Strawberry Slush ribbon. It's really, really nice. You have to take my word for it. Is it behind there? Ah, yes, it's behind my screen. Apologies. Here it is. Strawberry Slush false linen ribbon. I don't know how you can have a false linen ribbon. Is it actually something other than linen? But it's quite cute, and it's almost see-through. It's got quite a wide mesh to it. which cuts really well. So it cuts nicely. I find it a bit bulky to bow, so I'm just using a knot this time, but it's a lovely colour. Goes lovely with our strawberry slush. So what I'm going to do is grab some double-sided tape, which I also know is here somewhere. There it is. As we normally do with our bookbind cards, which you've seen me do many times. I'm going to pop that into that little 1.5 inch wide gap between those two scores. I had my biggest morning tea yesterday, so that's why I wasn't live yesterday, my normal Saturday live spot. Had 8, was there 8 of us ladies? I think 7 or 8 of us. Yeah, it must have been 7 because poor Susan didn't come. But yeah, so 7 ladies along, and we did some crafting, of course. And I sold them some stuff for charity, which was nice, and ended up with, oh gosh, what did we make? $275, I think it was, but just between us for oh, I'm missing something. Sorry, I haven't put my piece of, this is another piece of designer series paper. Yes, so we raised $275 for the Cancer Council, which was lovely. And on top of the money that I'd raised already, we're sort of well and truly close to $800. So everyone, thank you very much for coming along and contributing and donating. It was great. I had a lovely time. I was exhausted. I was in bed pretty early last night. But yeah, I had a lovely time having you all here. Still time to donate if you would like to. If you would like to donate, there's still time. I've got the donation, the direct donation link on both my Facebook pages. But if you would like to donate, please reach out and I can give you the link to donate. It would be lovely. I'd love to get to $1,000. That would be my big goal. So we're nearly there. Got 800 now. So I've popped some double-sided tape around there. I've secured our little piece of strawberry slush ribbon with that tape. I'm just going to reinforce it a little bit with another piece of tape just so it is well and truly chapped and not going anywhere. And then I will seal that little compartment closed right like that. Okay, so that's that first bit there. So we've got our little rotating twist there. So inside, I'm going to pop this one here, this little piece of white. It's 3 7/8 square. I think that's about 9.8 centimetres, something like that. Starting to remember those conversions from writing all my PDFs, etc. I know that 4 inches is 10.2 centimetres, 4 1/8 is 10.5, 3 7/8 is 9.8. 5 1/2 is 14. I love that one. 14 centimetres. 5 1/2 inches is 14 centimetres. I love them when they're nice and round. Anyway, here we go. So we've got our square, our 4-inch square, and with a piece there. Why don't I react to comments on YouTube? I react when I see them, my love. I'm not quite sure what anyway, I can see you're on Facebook. Anyway, I react to comments when I see them. If I don't see them, I can't react. Maybe there's something weird with YouTube and my maybe there's something weird with YouTube and the streaming service I use. But if you would like to contact me with something very important, please reach out either by email, which I think is on my YouTube, or pop over to my Facebook. Very, very happy to react. Would never not react. Anyway, there you go. Okay, so I've just popped that little piece there. Just thrown me a little minute there thinking I'm missing something, but I wouldn't never do it on purpose. Okay, so I've popped that. I've just glued that to the bottom half of our triangle there, and we'll leave that there. And then we'll put that up there. So I can actually see the comment there from YouTube. Welcome to you from the Netherlands. Anyway, so there we are. So that's up there. So that one twists like that, and we can pop that there. So what I've got here is a circle. Now I've cut this from white cardstock using our Spotlight on Nature dies. So this is a lovely white circle we're using. Now I'm just weeding that a little bit. There we are. And that's a Spotlight in Nature, so that's lovely. That's still available, and it's become a bit of a staple. I'm going to glue that to our easel. Then I'll bring in some fussy cut little cups, little cocktails and mocktails that I've fussy cut from the paper. There we go. Got those. Again, got the beautiful in colours. We've got some oranges. I think that's probably Timid Tiger. We've got the strawberry slush. We've got some yellow there as well. So we've got some mocktails. If you don't drink, let's call them mocktails. And I'm going to pop those on the front. So just bring those over like that. I'm just going to stagger them. How was I going to stagger them like that? Pop that one at the front. I can go, yeah. So I'll pop these two on first, these two tall glasses. Here we go. On there. So as I say, these are just fussy cut straight from the designer series paper. The images are in the bundle. If you buy the bundle, you can make your own images and create your own colour combinations and things like that from your favourite cocktail, but I'm just sticking with the paper at the moment. And I will pop this last one. It's a nice sprig of something coming out the top. Pop that on with some dimensionals. And pop that on the front as well. Now I haven't seen the particular friend who this card was inspired by come on to this particular. No, I haven't seen her come on yet, so I'll tell you there is a little bit of a story about this one. My friend who I was in, as I say, in Brisbane with for On Stage just recently gone. We went to we had a favourite bar restaurant, more like a restaurant I suppose, that we went to for most of our dinners while we were there. And she would order these. She first of all claimed that she didn't drink much. No, I don't drink anything. No, I don't drink at all. But then all of a sudden during the evening, these cocktails would appear in front of her, and she'd go, "Oh no, I don't drink very much," and these glorious coloured cocktails would suddenly just appear. So obviously she'd been going to the bar and ordering these things, and it was quite funny because our don't drink very much friend was sort of lining up these gorgeous coloured cocktails, and then telling us she didn't drink very much. But I think some of them were mocktails, so I don't want to make her out to be a alcoholic or anything, but yes, it was quite funny. Every time there'd be something new and exotic land in front of her on the table. Those scissors don't cut very well. I'll try these ones. So I'm just using a knot with this ribbon, because it is quite well, not coarse, but it's quite firm, quite stiff, and the bow's doesn't sit very well. I didn't think so. So I'm just going to leave it as a little knot there. So there. Okay, so we're going to pop a sentiment on. Now, if you watched a couple of weeks ago, I actually used the Many Messages bundle to create a whole range of different coloured sentiments, etc. And this is one of them. So I won't go through that again. If you're interested in the Many Messages bundle, please search back in my videos and see that you can find it. It's a really handy bundle. It will actually make you a good supply of sentiments that you can use again, for future cards. And that's, as I say, this is a happy birthday that I made with that, so I'm going to use that for this one. I'll just pop some dimensionals on one end of it, and then some glue where it's going to pop over our little mocktail cocktail there. So it depends who you are and what it is. And I'm going to pop that on like that. So just a little happy birthday there. Okay, yep. So thankfully Cheryl's just saying it's that the mocktails are good if you're the designated driver. Thankfully we were within walking distance of our pub, so we didn't have to have a driver, although it would have been handy for someone to look after the keys or, direct us back to the right place. We didn't, no, we didn't. We knew we'd have to get up early in the morning to go to our wonderful on-stage conference, so none of us overindulged, I'm happy to say. So I'm going to use these flat pearls, the in colour flat pearls. They are our new 25, 27. We've got our Secret Sea, Cloud Cover, Timid Tiger, Darling Duckling, and this is our Strawberry Slush here. So you can tell which ones I'm liking the most, the Strawberry Slush. So I'm going to pop 3 of those on there. That would be lovely if you come down here, Cheryl, if you'd love to catch up if you're in Tassie. It would be awesome. When are you planning on coming? I wouldn't come at the moment. You're going to freeze your pants off. But spring is wonderful, I can say. I can recommend spring and summer in Tassie. There we go. So there's our 3 little flat pearls there. So there we are. Oh, no, one thing missing. I've got to have my inside. So what I've done is another piece of the designer series paper that has some smaller versions of the same cards. So I've got this little sort of highball, I don't know, with a little strawberry there. I'm going to pop that on some dimensionals as well and use that as my little foot to my easel to stop it falling over. When it twists, pop some dimensionals on there. Open up my card. As usual with an easel card, the higher you want it to sit, the further back you'll put your little foot. If you want it to sit forward, you put it right to the front. So I'm going to pop it sort of about midway, just like that there. And that'll keep my easel from falling over. So there we are, that's card number 1. One of my favourite designs. I always bring them out when I'm looking for something nice and reliable. It's a good way of showing you some ribbon and some designer series paper and bling from a new suite. So there we are. So that's for my cocktail loving friend who doesn't drink very much, but seemed to manage to line them up. Okay, so this one is for my other dear friend who was also on stage with me, and I thought I'd try. This is the other suite that we looked at in the catalogue. It's the Kintsugi Inspiration Suite. I hope I'm saying that not too wrong. I've popped it together. A few different colours there. I'm using our cloud cover there. That's that really soft grey blue there on the background. Putting it together with some petal pink, using some of the designer series paper. And again, I have just fussy cut those pots for the front. Now I do actually have this particular bundle. I know I have it. I haven't got it with me. I do have it. So I could stamp and colour those pots if I wanted to, but the colours were so perfect in the designer series paper I decided to stick with that. And I have actually used, and this was a really popular design embossing folder at my last launch, I've used the mini corrugated embossing folder there as well. So you can see that there, the way that side there is actually got that little corrugation there. We've had a embossing folder that had a really big corrugation in the past. But it's been replaced with this one that's really fine. So it's really sort of a little up and down there. So I've used that for that piece of petal pink. Petal pink on the side there. So let's pop this one together as well, and we'll see how we go. Okay. So I've got a white card base. 5 3/4 by 8 1/4, scored in the middle. And then I have a layer of our cloud cover. So any of you who are following my adventures with the cloud cover ink, I have continued to experiment with my 3 inked up ink pads. The one I bought online, the old style Stampin' Up ink pad from years ago, and the little ink spot. And I'm pleased to say the colours are all holding fast. So there's no sort of shifting of the colour to the grey. So whatever of those 3, whatever for those 3 methods you decide to use for your cloud cover, they work very well. Okay, so here's our little piece of the corrugated petal pink. Now I'm going to pop that just straight onto the card, onto the cloud cover, and I'm just going to glue it. It's got quite a lot happening with that as a quite deep grooves, so you need a little bit more glue than you'd normally use, or just go for double-sided tape. That's sometimes easier. Okay. Yeah, it's funny. Inka, the girlfriend said that to me the other day as well, that the Kintsugi wasn't really for her. But I love it at the moment. I might get a little bit too fond of it eventually. But yes, I love the sips as well, the celebratory sips. It's just the colours, I think, and the images. You're exactly right. Okay, so I'm just having that on the right-hand side. That's only 2 inches wide, bringing in a little piece of the designer series paper. Now, this one's really cute. Now, the thing with this suite is that it's supposed to look like the pottery that's been broken and rejoined again with the gold. So that's what it's supposed to look like. So these are shards of pottery, and they've joined together with the gold embossed, which is this showing the beauty in things that have been reformed in art and in life, I suppose. That's what this suite is all about. And I love that colour. I love the combination of the blue and the pink, which is probably not a combination I would have thought of on my own, but it's very nice. So that's our card, our background there. Cool. We'll pop that aside for a second and we'll put in our decorations. Now, what have I got here? Now, these are the 3 images that I'm going to cut out. Now, if I did my, here we go. You know, I spent 20 minutes looking through my stash the other day to try and find this bundle, and I was looking for Kintsugi, and it's actually called Inspiring Imperfections. So yes, I was actually looking for the wrong thing. Just let me get my cut and emboss machine. I'm going to actually use the dies. It's one of those sets where the dies will actually cut out the images from the paper. So I can get the dies. Here we go. Just so you can see that. I've got 2 of the big pots, or 2 of the tall pots, I suppose. One of the little bowl and the flower. So here's the dies for those. I did a few cards with this one at launch. It's funny, sometimes I'll get launch out of the way and I'll forget that I've just shown them to the launch group and I didn't actually show them to anyone else. So sometimes it's like, oh, yeah, I still have to do videos with all those other things, even though I feel like I've done them almost to death for launch. But anyway, we have to keep going. There's a few lovely things in the next online exclusive that launches in July. Always seems like there's something new these days. yes, some lovely things, and I'm interested to show you those as well when I get them in my pre-order, hopefully next week. But I have to remember to keep showing you these things as well. Okay, so I've got my 3 bowls, as you see, nice and easy, just die cuts with the dies. And you've got your gorgeous pots there, and there's just one more big one. Pop those back. Popped a lot of retired stuff onto one of those public buy-sell sites during the week, and oh man, it becomes like a full-time job sometimes, looking at keeping up with the sales and messaging the people and arranging the money to come in, and then parceling them up and taking them to the post office, and then tracking them if that's what they want, and making sure that they get there. Honestly, I think I'm not complaining, I sold a lot of my retired stuff, but I think I spent most of every day, excuse me while I pop that down, most of every day following up on messages and emails, and I'm glad to make room for some new stuff, but it is quite a big job. I can understand why you wouldn't want to do it too often. Okay, so I've got my pots cut. What happened to my? Don't tell me it got stuck on the bottom of my. Oh, did it get stuck on the bottom of my thing? No. Where did my thing go? I dropped it on the floor. No. Ah, there you are. So I've got 2 little pieces of cardstock there, a piece of cloud cover there. I think that's 2 1/4 by 4, I think, pretty much. And then this one's 1/4 of an inch smaller, so that's 2 by 3 3/4. So I'm going to pop those together and decorate them. Then I'm going to pop them onto the card with some dimensionals just to give it a bit of height. No ribbon for this one, so if Deb's watching, you don't have to remind me to put the ribbon on, which is actually quite ironic when you think about it. I was going to say Marnie. Yes, Marnie, it was lovely meeting you there as well on stage. It was great. Hopefully we'll catch up again in Sydney. Such a lovely community of crafters, honestly. If you want, the products are wonderful, but they are only part of the story. You are never lonely when you've got a Stampin' Up group behind you. They always come through. That's what my experience anyway. I love my little crafty family. They are exactly that, family. Okay, so I've got 2 big pots. Now, if you love this suite or you love the paper and the bling, these will be the featured products for my next Funfold class. So you will get, I think it's bridge cards. So I'm exploring cards with bridges. BRIDGES, bridges, and we're using this paper and the flower accents bling. So you get 1/4 of a pack of the paper and 1/2 a pack of the bling, plus the kits for the 3 cards, so the 3 bridge cards. So yeah, watch out for that one. That's my July class, and I have actually also decided we're going to use the celebratory sips. We're going to use that in, August. So I've used the sweet sale to actually buy the paper for that nice and early. So, yeah, save a bit of money there. So the sweet sale was great for not just sweets, but for the paper and the bling as well from that suite. So it was great to actually use that sale to save a little bit on our Funfold class. So I'm going to pop this little bowl up onto some dimensionals. Pop that on the front. And bring this little flower in. Oh, I don't like putting the flower in. It doesn't look realistic. What with the new catalogue? No, yes, it is quite. It's not a cheap. How do I say it? It's not a cheap hobby by any stretch. You're definitely right there. But you can, as I say to my ladies, you can be clever with it and save if you are mindful about what you buy. I always help my ladies get the best value for their crafty dollar where I can. Okay, there we are. So I'm just popping that little flower just off to the side there because, as I say, I don't really like it when it's in them. But anyway, that's me. Then sentiment. So I'm going to do a happy birthday again because these are my birthday cards. So I'm not going to use the more messages this time. I'm just going to use the happy birthday out of Beautiful Butterflies just because it was a birthday that was the right sort of size. Assuming I've popped it back. Yes, I have. Grab a block and I'm going to use the Misty Moonlight because it'll bounce off the colour in the designer series paper and the colour of the little pot there. I do like getting, as Inca says, it's not a cheap hobby and it's not a cheap thing to, it is quality, but that's what you pay for. But I do like to sell my retired stuff because I sort of feel like I'm getting a little bit of that money back and it helps me fund the next edition, the next bundle or the next whatever that comes in. So yeah, selling that retired stuff is very handy. So it's worth the effort, even though it becomes a full-time job for a couple of days. Okay, so that's my happy birthday. I've just popped a little angle on the edge of that that birthday. I'm going to pop it onto the card. I'm going to glue it at this end and put a dimensional at the other end just to support it. So I'll just use a little part dimensional and add some bling and we are done. Apologies, I've been a little bit distracted while we craft today. I must still be tired after the excitement of yesterday. My head's all over the place. I have had a little bit of a cold coming on, so I didn't tell the ladies yesterday. Apologies, ladies. I did have a little bit of a cold coming on. But I think half of you actually said you'd had colds in the family or whatever, so I didn't feel too bad. I have had a runny nose for a few days. There we are. So that's our happy birthday there. Grab the bling. Now this is the bling that goes with this particular suite. So this will be the bling that we feature in July's class. It's flower accents. They're gorgeous gold. 2 sizes there and some lovely gold. Sort of textured bling. We'll pop that there. And on there. And another one down here. Okay, so that is card number 2 today. As I say, these are cards that are my personal style. This is me just being me, not pretending to be anything else. Just simple, lots of colour and images, a bit of a fun fold. I think that fun fold is me, definitely me. But there you go. So there's my birthday cards. I've got them, the 2 that I need for my actual special friends, and I've got 2 spare ones as well. So that's really great. So, yeah, thanks for joining me today. Thanks for sticking with me. As I say, my brain is a little bit all over the place, but we got there in the end. Yeah, so anything you want to know about these sweets, please reach out. Anything you want to know about the sale that we've got going, if that confuses you, and hopefully I answered some questions but probably made things worse in other ways. Please reach out with that as well. I'm happy to help you pop your order in and make sure you maximise the sales, the savings there. Lovely new in colours, some couple of new sweets. Anyway, and as I say, we'll keep looking at the new stuff as we go. But thanks for joining me. Thanks for your lovely comments. And I will probably